Casey. This is clearly a tier list. I used to do these. I was doing these as part of the What They Mean to Me series, but I feel like this kind of should just stand on its own instead of being, 15 minutes out of a 30-minute video. So yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing a tier list every month, probably on whatever topic we're doing for what means to you that month. This case, it's Nintendo. So what I have here is Nintendo franchises, as Nintendo has deemed so important as to have included in the Super Smash Bros. Series. And our tiers are Super, we have Legendary, B, because I could not think of something for B. We have Wah, and Haven't Played Enough. And haven't played enough just means what it says. I haven't played enough to really say whether I like it or not. I'll probably explain why I haven't played it enough, if there is a reason. Sometimes you just don't get to things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's one of your favorite franchises on this list. I also recognize that there are some franchises on here that probably should be here. Chibi Robo should probably be on here, but Nintendo doesn't want it in Smash, so it's not going on this franchise list. And this isn't a Smash list, per se. This just felt like a good way to weed out the best of the best, the cream of Nintendo's crop. So we are going to start with Donkey Kong. Now, DK platformers are not necessarily for me. I find the controls, and I don't know why. No, it's not even the controls. They're just not for me. I've played through probably 5 or 6 of the Donkey Kong games, and if we're including the Game Boy line, if we are including the Donkey Kong Land Game Boy games. I haven't beaten a single one. I don't have any particular drive to go back and beat any of them. That being said, I love the original Donkey Kong arcade game and the Donkey Kong 94, but those are both Mario games more so. I'm gonna start off by putting Donkey Kong in B. Because that being said, I do love the characters of Donkey Kong and all that awesome world building there. And next we have Fire Emblem, which I've only played one, one of the ones on the 3DS. Turn-based strategies are fine and great and important, just not to me. I can't get into it. We're gonna put it. That's not a bad thing. That's a testament to how versatile Nintendo is as a company. They have so many different games and genres that they do cater to just about everybody. And then we have Animal Crossing, which, spoiler, I also haven't played enough. I don't play my games necessarily to relax, or playing in this slow-moving, chill setting isn't as relaxing or as fun to me as it is for everybody else. That being said, what everybody and all the creations that people do make in their towns are, I think, spectacular. I do have fun going through and looking at some of those. And that leads us to F-Zero. Of the F-Zero games I have played the original on the Super Nintendo. I have played F-Zero 99 on the Switch, and that's it. I never really had access to the GameCube version or the Nintendo 64 version. But what I've played I like. It's not my top tier Nintendo franchise, or not even the racing game I would pick up. It's not the racing game I'd pick up on any day of the week, really, unless something big is happening. It's good and important to Nintendo. I wish they would do more. If a new F-Zero game came out, I'd definitely at least pick it up to try it. But until then, we're going to put it in B. Next we have Duck Hunt. I don't necessarily agree it should be on this list. To be honest, it has one game that is hardly fleshed out, more of a tech demo for the light gun. Very important. I like sunk a ton of time and energy into this game growing up. Still have my light gun. I drew all over it like a child. But yeah, I don't like. There's been so many opportunities for them to revive Duck Hunt between the Wii and the Wii U and the Switch. And the 3DS. I believe you could have all done something with the character and done a Duck Hunt game in all of them, but you haven't. You're gonna be our first. Wow. Next we have eggplant. This is Ice Climbers. Okay. I've played a lot of the original Ice Climbers game. Probably more than most. I had it on the Game Boy Advance. It's very important to me. That being said, Nintendo needs to do something more with it. Like, don't tell me you can't figure out a game about siblings climbing a frozen mountains with Yetis. You can come up with something, Nintendo. Until then, yeah, it's going on Wii. Speaking of Wii, Wario. I think Wario has so much weird versatility because of the kind of games they put him in. Between his platformers and his micro games, Wario is more important to Nintendo than I think a lot of people would admit. But where do I want to put it on this list? I think I'm going to put it below Donkey Kong, under F-Zero. Under F-Zero, I think I'm going to put it under Donkey Kong, over F-Zero. Kid Icarus is next. That's a weird one. It feels really like one of these things is not like the other, and it's Kid Icarus because it's so, I don't know, derivative of Greek mythology. It feels like it just doesn't belong in Nintendo's pantheon. And I don't think they do a lot with the games. I think the games are fine. I think the original Kid Icarus is a fine game for a black box game. I think Kid Icarus Uprising is an okay 3DS title. It's going on B under F-Zero. I think I can do that. Kirby. If you haven't watched my Nintendo video, Kirby is my main on Smash. Kirby, all of his games are designed to be easy and fun and accessible. Like, that's the point of them. And I do have fun with all of them. They're designed to be baby's first game in a lot of instances, and I think that's important to have that jumping on point. And I also think they're fun to pick up now because they're so versatile and you have so many things to do always. So yeah, I'm comfortable putting Kirby in Legendary. Next we have Game & Watch. Another one that's important to me. I grew up playing Game & Watch Gallery 1 on the Game Boy and Game & Watch Gallery 4 on the Game Boy Advance. And since then I've picked up 2 and 3, and yeah, I really enjoy the Game & Watch games. They're really important to Nintendo's history. They helped I believe they helped give Nintendo the confidence they needed to like continue and push into the video game market and give us Donkey Kong and the history from there. So I have to at least give Game & Watch. I don't think the games are legendary though; they're too short. I do think I like Game & Watch so much I'm gonna give it high B, higher than Donkey Kong. And next we have Mother. I don't know if this is technically, like, also Kirby technically isn't a Nintendo produced game. They're only published by Nintendo, but Nintendo kind of sort of owns it. So we're going to count it in this list. Ness and Luke Ness and Lucas from the Smash Brothers games are what most people recognize them from. I did get a chance to play this growing up. A partner in high school had the original NES cart or Super Nintendo cart for Mother 2 for Earthbound. Yeah, and I got to play this in high school, and it was a really good experience. I haven't had a chance to play it again. I know it's on the Switch, and I should. I haven't gotten a chance to play Mother 1 or 3, and I also should pick those up. But yeah, what I've played, I've really enjoyed. I think it's super fun and versatile and weird for Nintendo to have this franchise, and I wish they'd do more with it, but I also understand why they can't, and I'm fine with it being this perfect little trilogy. As perfect as I don't think it's perfect, but it's a great little trilogy. It's probably gonna go in B. Saved a lot for later, didn't I? Under Game & Watch. Pikmin. I have not played a single Pikmin game. I cannot explain why. I have a GameCube. I had a Wii and a Wii U. And I have a Switch. I have access to systems that can play them all. I just haven't picked it up or put it on. I'm sorry. I think out of all the games I haven't played enough of, this is kind of the biggest regret for me. I think it's, yeah, let's put it on the top of haven't played enough. Pokemon. I, like many of us, grew up with Pokemon. I also think, like many of us, I fell out of love with Pokemon a bit. Sometime during the 3DS and Switch era, it just kind of fell off for me. I think the game I put the most hours into would be Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I had a really good team there. I don't know what else to say. It's Pokemon. You know what Pokemon is. Because I've fallen out of love with it, I can't really put it up in Super. I think it's going to drop down to Legendary. Top of Legendary. I'm fine with that. Pokemon, or Punch-Out. Wow. Where the house that Little Mac built. It's so weird that this franchise is forever tied to Mike Tyson. Whether Nintendo wants it to be or not, it will forever be tied to Mike Tyson. That being said, I don't think any of their games are particularly fantastic. I played the original on the NES, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I played the version on the Wii. Both are... the one on the NES is a punching game, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. It's not... I wouldn't describe it as a boxing game. It's a punching game. You move left and right and hit. It's not so in-depth that I would call it a boxing game. And Punch-Out on the Wii is, slightly more in-depth Wii Sports Boxing. I don't think that they do anything particularly spectacular. I think they were financially successful, very much so in the arcade, and I'm glad they exist, but they're just not my favorite franchise as much as I do love playing as Little Mac. So you're going into WA. Followed by Splatoon. I think maybe the newest franchise on this list, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles beats it a tiny bit, I'm not sure. But Splatoon is so much fun, and I don't have fun with it because I don't have friends to play with. This is a game where you need to squad, and you need to build a team and to work together, and I don't have enough people to play with. So, for being as great as it is, and I can't get enough out, and I can't even, access it the way it should be played, I'm gonna put it into Legendary. I think it has absolute potential to go into Super for me once I get friends. Wah, wah. Wii. This is a weird one to have. This includes Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Fit, Wii Fit Trainer and Smash if we're talking about Smash characters. I also didn't play a whole lot of this. I played a lot of archery. And I think that's the Wii title I played the most of in this franchise. It launched the Wii, it built the Wii, it's very important, but not very important to me. We're gonna put you under Wario in B. That being said, Star Fox, very important to me. Star Fox 64, I probably put more time into than any Nintendo 64 game. I will still put that card in today. I very much enjoyed, I think more than most people, the 2 games that came out on the GameCube. After that, I didn't get a chance to play the DS game until, you know, the remake. I wish they would continue the story instead of rebooting it incessantly, consistently, never-endingly. And honestly, because of that, it's gonna go down to a B. It feels like Nintendo doesn't know what to do with it. Top a B for sure, but still a B. Next we have the Yoshi games. Like Donkey Kong, I played a lot of them. I played the original, I played the Game Boy version of the original, and the original version of the original. I've played the DS version, the Yoshi's Island DS. I think that's the most recent Yoshi game I played. I've beaten it, and I can play it again. I have fun with it, but it's not a franchise I'm ever like clamoring to go back to. If I want to play platform, I'm going to go back to Mario. That being said, I do like it more than Donkey Kong. Next we have The Legend of Zelda. These are so pure and great. I've only beaten 2 of them. I've only beaten Zelda 2 and Breath of the Wild. I am standing at the gates of hell and Tears of the Kingdom and just haven't taken that last step. But here's the thing, I am also okay with that. Like, I love Zelda and still have fun. I don't need to beat a Zelda game to have, like, thoroughly enjoyed it. And that feels weird, but yeah, Zelda's going super. Our first entry into the super, blah, 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 into the super tier. And what we have next is Xenoblade. I think that's Xenoblade. Like Fire Emblem, I have not played it. It's Nintendo's Final Fantasy, right? That's what Nintendo wants it to be. Their big sci-fi JRPG series. I think that's a very important thing to have. Just not a series of games that I'm particularly interested in picking up. Game I will always be interested in picking up, though, is Metroid. Going to the top of Super, definitely over Zelda. Dread is... We're a few years out from Dread, but it might still be my favorite Metroid. I have played all of the mainline Metroid games. I do need to get Prime 2 and 3. But I have played the 5 mainline games. I played Prime Remastered. I have Other M. I played that when that came out. Even the worst Metroid games, even Other M, I still have fun playing. I should pick up Federation Force as soon as I find friends to play it with, because I would love to try that. Even I'm not dissuaded from any Metroid game. I enjoy the franchise so much. It's so important and creepy and weird and slow and exciting all at the same time. I can't get enough of the choreographed freedom that Super Metroid or the Metroid franchise lets you have with its world building. It's so beautifully put together. For me, anyway. My opinions are my own. And that leaves us with Mario. the man that built Nintendo. It's definitely going into the super tier. The question is under Metroid or over Metroid, because I do like Mario more than Zelda. I just played the games more. I like platformers are always my go-to. I will again like Metroid, even the worst Mario games. I have fun playing. There's not a Mario game that I don't at the very least enjoy putting on. That being said, I like Metroid a little more. Okay, but that's my tier list. Yeah, that's the end of my list, leaving us with the super tier with Metroid, Mario, and Zelda. The legendary tier consists of Pokemon, Kirby, and Splatoon. B tier, the largest tier, consists of Star Fox, mainly because that refuses to advance. Game & Watch, because I grew up with it and don't think it needs to advance. It's perfect the way it is, but is also small. Mother, which is a great franchise, but I don't think Nintendo knows what to do with it. I don't think Nintendo's ever going to do anything with the Mother franchise again outside of the Smash games, unfortunately. That being said, Yoshi and DK are also in B tier because I think they're important and great games. They're just not my favorite platformers. And that goes the same with Wario. While I think I'm going to actually move Wario because he's so versatile above Yoshi and Donkey Kong. That's going to be the only, I think, change. But yeah, I think the Wario games are super versatile, but Nintendo also has oddly decided to abandon them, which is sad. The Wii games, Wii Sports games, the Wii Fit games are also in the B tier. Important, I just never played them, with the exception of Archery, which is a great archery game. I don't think I said how great that archery game is. We have F-Zero again, solid games. Nintendo just refuses to do anything with it. Kid Icarus is here because I think those are really solid games that just don't fit in Nintendo's pantheon because they're so unoriginal. Like the character, I don't know why Greek mythology. It doesn't feel like it fits in here. But going on to the Wah tier, we have Ice Climbers, which I think there's so much Nintendo can do with it, but just hasn't. Like, imagine if Nintendo did like a kid-friendly survival game with the Ice Climbers. I think that's a really interesting opportunity and things we could tie in there. I think there's things we can do there. Wah also contains Punch-Out because they're games, I guess. I don't know what to say about Punch-Out. Same with Duck Hunt. Nintendo, what are you doing with Duck Hunt? And then finally, the tier the tier of haven't played enough, Pikmin, which is a bit of a regret. And after that are 3 games that I don't regret not playing, but understand they're very important to a lot of people. Those being Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, and Xenoblade. But yeah, thank you all for sitting through my mess.